environment doesn't shape who you are. Your environment sometimes is the greatest thing, because sometimes you have to do things in a different way to get where you need to get to. As long as you're not hurting anybody, don't hurt anybody. You know what I mean? Don't hurt nobody. Just make sure that you can look at yourself in the mirror and say, okay, yeah, certain things I've done I'm not proud of, but I'm away from that because I had to get to this, and all that's behind me now. Because don't forget, your past will always catch up on you anyhow. There's stuff that I've done and my past will always catch up on me anyhow, and people say, oh, you did this, you did that, but I'll talk about it a later time anyhow, because I said very open about where I've been and what I've done. But it doesn't stop me from doing what I need to do just because of my environment and the way that I had a different way of thinking way back then. Completely different person. I was said before, you can't be the same person 10 years ago as you are now, or 2 years ago. If you are, you're not evolving. You're just going to stay in the same position with the same people, thinking the same things, doing the same things, which doesn't make any sense. It's no good for you at all if you want to move on. But some people, as I said, you can't bring them with you, because some people are just going to drop off and stay where they are. Hey, that's their choice. It's all about choices. This here, as a community, as a society of people that I'm getting through to, as I said, I'm not the one who's looking to be the know-all and the influencer. I just want to try and influence people. I'm looking for like millions and thousands. That would be great, but I know it isn't going to happen. Not saying that I'm not committed by what I'm saying, but you can't stop yourself from doing certain things, because there are going to be a lot of people that are going to judge about saying, well, okay, well, what does he know about this? What does he know about psychology? What does he know about people's actions? But I'm just doing it from a place of love, and I'm doing it from a place of what I've seen from my experiences and my wisdom, because of mistakes that I've made. I'm putting out there now. If thousands and hundreds and millions of people do come on and follow, and we build this beautiful network of people that are socially minded for change, you know what? I will take that hands up all day long and say, you know what? I'm happy as farts, because I'm so happy that we can change people's mindsets. And it doesn't mean to say that we've got to wear a shirt and tie and be on mainstream telly to let people know what's going on, because us as people, we do know, but sometimes we are our own worst enemy by stopping ourselves from doing things and achieving things. We just have to do things, and we think, you know what, open your mind and you will find much more than you realize. There's little things that I write down and jot down, because I know that only you can break that cycle or that circle to achieve higher success, higher degrees of success. 100%. All it is about opening up your mind. You have to be your own guide. It's going to take time, but it doesn't matter, because that time is going to pass anyway, as I've said before. Because what we know, the road is going to be a long, long, long road. But it's okay, because we're going to deserve the results that are at the end of that road. But then when we do get to the end of that road, we move on. We keep going. We keep going a little bit further, because we're here to leave a legacy for people behind. Because don't forget, there are always going to be poor. There's always going to be people that are going to underachieve. There are always going to be people that don't think that they've got a chance or a hope to do anything with their lives, right? But if you put into you what you put into what other people are trying to put into you, as in what you listen to on the news or whatever, or the radio, and it's just going over repeating the same talking point over and over and over again. I listened to the news the other day for this first time for a long time, and this was yesterday, and all I heard from that was there was a killing, there was a stabbing, there was a murder of this, there were kids in a different country getting killed. That's all I heard. That's all I heard. I didn't hear one thing that was positive. I didn't hear one thing that was there to say, you know what, there's a group of people over here doing this great, amazing thing, and they're building up a great community, or they're building someone's hopes up. I didn't hear that at all. Heard about people dying because they were out in the cold. Heard about people getting burnt to death. Heard about people getting stabbed to death. And I was thinking, what? No wonder people are just waking up depressed and jumping off buildings and stuff. Because if that's all you're hearing every day and listening to that, because we know that bad things happen, but do we have to keep listening and hearing about it all the time? And that is the main thing that then you're going to tell somebody else, telling them negative. Because people will come around here sometimes and they'll say, oh, have you heard? And I'm thinking, oh gosh, what now? What now? And I don't really want to hear it. At this point, I switch off, or I change the subject onto something else that's positive, because we know bad things happen. But get yourself out of this mindset, because we have to homeschool ourselves for our skills. If we can work on ourselves as aggressively as possible to make our fire inside us burn as brightly, listen, that means that we can just negotiate with ourselves first. That's what we have to do. We have to negotiate with ourselves. We don't have to go negotiate with nobody else. We're not trying to get somebody who's trying to shoot somebody, negotiate and talk them down. We have to talk ourselves down to lift ourselves up. And this is the thing. We have to stop trying to have the fear factor because of what the idiot box is telling us or what the radio is telling us. We have to get ourselves to be our own selves. What's the word I'm looking for? We have to be the prosecutor of our own actions and ourselves. Like if you ever go into court, someone's going to be trying to get you locked up, right, for things that they're saying about you. We have to do that to ourselves. We have to unlock the chains that we've got in our mind, unlock those to make ourselves free. We have to free our minds, because I tell you what, if we don't free our minds, we're always going to be impoverished. We're always going to have that slave mentality where all it is, you can't do nothing. Even though the front door's open, you're always going to use the back door, because that's the way that they're actually going to train. They're going to train your mind and the ways that you think, because they're going to have you so bent up in different shapes you don't know if you're coming or going. As I say, you know when they've got somebody enslaved, because you've put something in them all the time, as I said, that you've got them so badly that they'll never use the front door, even though the front door's open. That's the quickest route to get out to where they need to get to. And you've told them, right, you can only use that back door. You can only use that back door. And that's what happens. So I don't agree. I don't agree with us putting ourselves in that state. The state we put ourselves, we have to put ourselves, is happiness is the key. We will feel like, trust me, we'll feel like the sky has opened and the energy, our energy is just going upwards. That's how it's going to feel for us, because you know what? And I'll say it and I'll say it again. I seen this clip the other day where there was some preachers and stuff, and they were throwing down money on people, throwing money down